John Lydon is undoubtedly best known as one of the great legends of punk. He's been listening to all of that.
He's enjoyed that, haven't you, John
sorry
Lydon?
about that.
Yeah, listen, there is rats in the school system, all right. I just heard one.
It is remarkable, isn't it, John Lydon? It's always a pleasure having you in the studio.
Peace.
But just listening to a schools minister who still doesn't know how many schools
There actually are.
There actually are in the 5%.
And when
that
he says
he's
to us,
referred to.
it's 5%, and we say, how many schools is that? And then he says he doesn't know, but 5% is like a number.
It was delicious sitting here in the front row because this table was vibrating with your rage.
we eke it out to all politicians equally.
We do.
Anyway, it's lovely to have you in the studio.
Thank you for having us.
And you were last with us in January, down the line from the home.
Yeah, you talked to me, yeah.
That's right, and of course Nora passed away in April.
Yeah.
And it's been a tough few months.
It has, but, you know, you endure. She died kind of laughing right up to the last day, and that was obviously tragically different for her. She found it very difficult breathing and etc. But she died happy. She knew I loved her, and that's all that really mattered.
I was saying to Susanna before, my mum's had dementia for almost 20 years now, and she's happy and she's healthy. She doesn't really communicate anymore. But the truth is, for me as a son, the grieving happens over a long period of time while she's still alive, because you lose the person that she once was. How was that? How was
it seems a bizarre thing to say, but it's almost a relief that she was put out of her misery. It's as simple as that.
And you were with her, but losing her for a long time.
Yeah. 5 solid years of it, so... But I loved every minute of it, you know. I just did. The perambulators, the wheelchairs, the nappies. I got attached to her in a whole new different ways and learnt so much about her. And just by sharing comedy and humour with her, it was amazing, because that would keep her cognizant of what was going on.
What did you learn about yourself?
I learned that she could read English faster than I ever could, Alzheimer's or not, yeah. But that was difficult. If we watch, like, say, Formula One, I love that, right?
Right.
But and the car is turning around the corner, is written all over the screen. You can't see the race at all, but it would amuse her.
Did you learn to have...
She used to race cars when she was younger.
Did she?
Yep.
Amazing.
Yeah, very, very independent, strong woman was Nora. That was a hard thing to do at those times after the war in Germany, where they were still staunch male chauvinists.
Did you find out that you had more patience in you than you ever imagined?
Oh, yeah, you have to. You have to. The first year was like just a learning curve. But after that, you learn to relax a little with it, right? And not to expect routines, because routines just don't wash with. They never did with Nora, and they certainly weren't going to, like, in that condition.
But there's no point in arguing, is there?
No point in arguing. Don't ask questions and let them enjoy what they enjoy.
Never say, I told you that 5 minutes ago.
No. I mean, I got in a condition where I could hardly remember 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. Did you find, sometimes the advice when you're living with somebody who has a form of dementia is allow the person who has the dementia to decide the conversation?
Yes, that's really important. And the puzzlement was when people would come round, they'd be like, how are you, dear? This kind of patronising attitude, which drove her insane with fury. And she was never like that with me.
I know.
It's just, don't babyfy them, don't patronise, and don't ask questions, because that compromises them.
Yeah, just go with the flow.
Let them bring up topics, and you'll find that they'll be really, really very conversant with you.
And looking at pictures and then seeing what memory that inspires is going to be an amazing thing. The memory's always there, isn't it?
Most hilarious is me and Nora didn't ever like having pictures taken of us. There really wasn't too much of it, so I was surprised at this wall you had back here.
Yes, we gathered the ones we could find.
That's probably all there is.
Yeah, in a wonderful tribute. Look, John, we're going to talk to you more about life after Nora and how you rebuild and your inspiration for new music. We last talked to you, of course, about writing Hawaii, which was about living with Nora, and that was the bid for the Eurovision entry.
We're back with John Lydon, and after losing wife Nora, he says he's ready to return to the stage with his band Public Image Limited to honour the love of his life. In fact, on stage on Friday night for the first night of your tour. Tickets still available, I'm told?
Not many, so, you know, hurry up and rush. Return to the stage. That's so romantic and Victorian, doesn't it?
Are you touring all autumn?
It's like, yes, as much as I can. And as the further into the tour we go, further dates will be added, and we'll probably end up doing the world. But, I mean, that's the only thing I'm good at. What else can I do? Just sit at home and mope. I mean, I'm doing Nora proud. This is, you know, she heard this album, she loved it. And she's always been my worst critic.
Really? Your
Yes.
harshest critic?
Well, that's how you stay well together.
Yeah, and you had... we've been talking this morning about whether opposites attract.
Of course, plus and minus, that's magnetic.
Do you think you were opposites? I know you have owned up to blazing rows with each other.
She was always incredibly healthy and wanted to go and do excitingly physical things like running. And I'm a couch potato. You know?
She raced the cars, you sat and watched the racing cars.
Well, when she would race down Knightsbridge, that was a nightmare, because she would window shop at high speed. I want that dress.
John, you talked about the fact that for the first 3 months after she left this life, you basically found solace in a bottle, didn't you?
Tried to, but it didn't really work. All it did is make me put on weight. I never got drunk. I thought that was stupid, so I stopped. But the trouble is, it's not just the brandy, it's the instant microwave meals that go with it. And you just wreck yourself. And the only way I know how to get fit is to get back on stage.
Yes, get back on stage.
You know, I might have to roll on a few times for the first week, but...
Yeah, and
but I'm fit.
It's a distraction
I
as
swim
well,
like a
isn't it?
fish.
Do you?
Yep. We're like a whale, like a beached whale.
Are you as energetic on stage as you were when you were in your 20s?
I would like to think so.
And do you
might have to
dive
speed
headlong?
up the footage.
Do you dive headlong into the audience? Do you mosh pit it?
Never did that.
No,
I wouldn't trust anyone to catch me.
Right.
Well, good luck being back. It's wonderful to see you.
Thank you.
And the music is beautiful.
Yeah.
And energetic and a distraction.
Oh, yeah, and it's a very varied album too. So just in case anybody thinks this is all about soppy, lonely moaning, it is not at all.
There's still punk in there at the heart
It's
of
up
it.
there and it's relevant, boys and girls.
Oh, John, great to see you. Thank you so much
Thank you, John.
for coming in.
May the road rise, the enemies always be behind you. May they scatter, flatter, butter and shatter.